Hi, my name is Adam Gershwitz. I'm a producer for Rift Plains of Talara, and you're watching Realm. So another really interesting thing here is, why don't we pull up the map for a moment? I think we have it all revealed. Why don't we use a little special GM voodoo and reveal the map so we can show a little more Glenwood. All right. So another thing to note is this is the kind of game map. It points out a couple of different things. It shows obviously where the player is and what the player has to do, but it also shows the current state of invasions within the world of Talara. As you can see, there's all sorts of things happening in this dynamic world. A number of rifts haven't been closed. They've, as such, formed these what we call footholds. Once a foothold is formed, the planes continue to spew out monsters which will invade and slowly take over the zone. So as he mouses over these various invasions, you'll see death and fire invasions moving to different areas of the zone. So in addition to your normal questing content or your normal raid or dungeon content, every time you log in, there could be possibly different things going on. Different rift invasions going on, different rifts or tears to open, and in fact, these will actually fight against each other as well. So while they may be attacking you, they could possibly choose a target that is another planar type. For example, the plane of water and the plane of fire don't get along too well, so they'll tend to fight each other when they come across. So smart players, even in a solo situation, can take advantage of that and kind of way to kind of kill off the weakened foes. So let's hop to our next area. Alright. So this is a new zone that we haven't shown off very much. This is the Scarlet Gorge. So the Scarlet Gorge is a middle high zone. As you can see, there's another event going on here. This is a death invasion this time. So we're right outside the Foul Cascade, which is one of our dungeon instances. So this Death Rift, why don't we pan over a little bit, show a little bit more about the gorge here. So the Scarlet Gorge is a kind of barren wasteland that's been strip mined for all of its natural resources. In this particular area, the Golden Maw, which is the cult of Lapis, which is the Dragon of Earth, they're here kind of strip mining the area and kind of pillaging the last of the gold mines and the valuable resources, because the Golden Maw is all about physical wealth. So the player is here to kind of stop that from happening and further unravel just why the planar invasion is going on and how they can get to the bottom of it. So do a little bit more combat here for a moment. Why don't we head south real quick and just do a little quick run around the zone. And while it is nighttime right now, we can use a little bit more GM power and turn this one to day, because the zone looks really nice during high noon. There we are. So as you can see, this is one of our newer zones. Once again, it's a high contrast from the other zones we've shown. We've gone from magical to gloomy to kind of this more bleak, desolate landscape. So as I mentioned before, we were right outside the Foul Cascade, which was one of our dungeon instances. So what we're going to do next is kind of hop to one of our instances and show you guys around one of the kind of higher level dungeon areas. So which one are we showing today, Anthony? Darkening Deeps? All right. So we're going to go ahead and run into Darkening Deeps. As I mentioned before, we have full instance content as well. Challenging dungeons for 5 or more of your friends, in addition to raids that can take up to 10 or 20 people. In addition to this, the outdoor rift content can spawn at different levels as well, and players can kind of force open harder and harder events. So you're not restricted to going into a dungeon if you want to do some group play. There's lots of things for you to do in the overworld as well, even for 10 or 20 people or more at a time. So here we are in the Darkening Deeps. Anthony's going to give you a quick tour. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be quiet so he can show you the visuals. So we're going to head down the ledge a little bit. And I believe we should be able to get this to interact. So our dungeons are also interactive. They change as you kind of move around them. As you can see, as he runs down this area here, different things will charge up to meet them as the player progresses through the dungeon. In addition to having monster kill puzzles as well, there's a number of different types of traps and things the players will encounter. In this particular section, I think you'll be getting there shortly, you'll see that as they get deeper, they call on reinforcements from above. And they'll fire down, the goblin mages will fire down fireballs and things that people have to avoid as they're kind of working their way through the dungeons, so as you can see. Another nice thing about our dungeons is it's not a one-trick pony. You might adventure through here in your 20s or your 30s, but say you're at the end of the game and you'd like to come back. Of course, we have a hard version for you to play through, but it's not just, hey, it's the same monsters with a higher level and new loot. It's actually a new experience. It progresses the storyline a little bit more. So right now, you're kind of dealing with the goblins that have infested the Darkening Deeps and figuring out what they're trying to do and kind of overcome and put down the goblin unrest forever. When you return here later on, you realize that, hey, when you got to the bottom of this dungeon, there was this weird altar with a cracked egg on it. Don't know what was going on, but we've cleared out the goblins. Well, suffice to say that they were worshiping a red dragon, a fire dragon, and that dragon has now grown up in your absence. So you have to return later on and kind of unlock these new areas of Darkening Deeps and progress back through the dungeon again with new encounters, new things to do, and new monsters to fight.